Talking about the cinematic world, Julia made me watch Hunger Games.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I most of the people did not like the movie, but I liked. I mean, the movie is good, but the world that they created, it took me into that world,
Oh, it's
and it was just like phenomenal. I loved
yeah.
Hunger Games world that they created.
The world building is amazing in Hunger Games, right? Like there's like so much character and depth to every single character. Like everyone has a reason to be there, and the world is like so complicated, but it still kind of makes sense, but in like a screwed up way. Yeah. Also, I mean, we didn't talk about this now, but uh, I feel like every country has a different way of making movies. Like if
Oh, definitely.
if you look at let us take an example of Japanese movies and Hollywood, right? Like if you look at any of the Studio Ghibli's movies directed by Miyazaki, it's a very simple story. It's a very simple story. Probably nothing complicated happens. More often than not, it's a small movie, but there is a lot happening. Like for example, if a little kid is running in the movie, in a Hollywood movie, the little kid probably runs and that's the end of the scene. But this little kid falls down, picks herself up, then gets distracted by a butterfly, and then walks around, and then remembers that her elder sister walked far away from her. So then she goes running. This gives you so much emotion, like because that genuinely feels like a little kid. Like a little kid would definitely behave like that. They don't have the attention span to continuously chase someone. They want to look at the world, and they will trip and fall and stumble. And I call it like soft world building. And then Hollywood on the other end, they do hard world building where they talk about Mines of Moria and Lord of the Rings and Smeagol, and they tell you the ancient history of a particular world in like 15 minutes, and they dump a lot of information on you. And some people love it. They love like intense world building with so much information, and then they want to absorb more and more. It's a soft world building is more feelings based, and hard world building is, I guess, more knowledge based. I guess like the more you know, the more you live, the more you'll enjoy the references. You'll enjoy even more. But yeah, man, like movie making, like such an interesting thing in the world. Pleasure, a pleasure for us to watch, and it's a hope for us to do it one day.
Yeah, it might sound pretty cocky that I say this, but I mean, this is my feeling, right? This is what I think. For me, I live in my own world. I live in my own reality. I'm not hurting anyone or anything. For me, in my head, I've told you this before.
Yeah,
Like, if people are not into movie making, like, what else are they into? Like, that's the amount of love that I have for movie,
yeah.
and that's how I always wake up
Your
in.
passion is
Think.
showing, Raghu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I one thing